So now we're going to learn an interesting skill. Learning how to listen beyond the words is a skill that not many of us have been taught. And really, we haven't even been taught how to listen. There's a difference between hearing and listening is a crucial skill to create connection in your relationship. Some of my clients have shared with me their frustration about their partner in regards to listening. It is common that men are accused of problem solving when listening. However, I will say that I observe women do this as well. It is harder for me not to slip into problem solving when I'm listening to my husband or my children than it is in the therapy room. It's really hard to listen and feel helpless when someone we love is struggling in life. And that's often what we feel, helpless. If we feel that we're being helpful, it tends to make us feel better, but it doesn't tend to make the person who needs to be listened to feel better. The skill or the task of problem solving really is rarely helpful. What it does is it takes the person out of the place that they need to be in. For example, if someone is upset about their boss at work and it is suggested that they get a new job, that changes the direction of the conversation because now that person has to explain why they don't want a new job, when what they really need is to talk about the challenges that they go through with their boss. So I'll guide you in a few of these lessons that you are about to do on how to listen with empathy and validation. I will teach you how to interpret the meaning also behind what someone is trying to communicate to you. Another thing is that there is a difference between passive listening and engaged listening. Most of us need engaged listening from our partner. Have you ever asked your spouse if they are listening because you're not sure, because they've been mostly silent? And sometimes the response that you might get is, I can repeat everything that you've said. This is an example of passive listening. And the speaker is usually needing the person to be more engaged in their listening. And you'll know what I mean more when you take this lesson. The problem is that when someone is engaged in more passive listening, the person speaking tends to feel like the listener doesn't care, which is not often the case. It's more often the case that our partner doesn't know how to respond. They don't know what to say. So in these lessons, you will learn how to respond to each other. But keep in mind, this is a skill that takes time and practice. Give yourself and your partner the latitude to get it wrong. It's the only way to learn. You'll learn how to be present with each other. That is active and engaged listening. But like I said, please be patient. It takes time. It is truly our mistakes that help us learn. So I even know as a therapist that there are times when I'm trying to understand what someone is feeling and I get it wrong. But what that does, it just allows me to get to the space of what they are really feeling so that I understand on a deeper level. You will experience the same thing. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson.